In our younger days, we built and sailed trimarans. When we got married, we dreamed of sailing the world.
As we look forward to retirement, our dream is becoming real. We chose a Seawind catamaran, or maybe she chose us.
And after a lifetime of dreams, our boat finally arrived. We are shaking her out in the Chesapeake Bay and along the mid-Atlantic coast.
We christened her Moments in Time, reminding us to cherish each moment. The sea is calling. Come share the dream.
All year I've been filming little short videos on my UP340, the issues I've run into it, the problems I've had, the repairs I had to make, the quality of the workmanship. But I haven't aired them, and I've been debating whether or not I should post these videos. But UP has gone silent. They don't exist anymore. They abandoned their factory. They have a bunch of outstanding orders, and I can't get a hold of them, and I just don't know where they're standing at this point. UP as a company might not even exist anymore. I know there's some lawsuits against it, but that's all I know. So I'm going to go ahead and post these videos and on my experiences, and then it might take 2 videos. We'll have to see. Our UP340 suffered damage from shipping. Something happened on the port stern area. You can see where the beach wheel was jammed through the pallet. Something also damaged the port EVA foam and gouged a chunk of EVA foam out. And of course, we have the crack. At first, we thought the crack was cosmetic. We mounted the outboard motor and shook it, only to reveal that the crack was not cosmetic. We did not want to go another season without a tender. Okay, I don't know what to do at this point. We were hoping that the crack was just cosmetic. It is not. The weight of the motor showed that it's structural. Moments in Time is going to the boat show, and it's at Liberty Marina getting warranty work done. I'm going in for some surgery on my back, so that's going to lay me up 3 to 4 weeks. And then we want to go sailing in June, and our intent was to go north. And without a dinghy, there is no reason to go north if I can never get off the boat. So for now, I'm going to try to fix it, at least temporarily, just in case. Because once I get operated on, I'm going to be laid up and I can't do anything. I don't want to delay our trip up north. Wish me luck. What I'm doing is I'm grinding and sawing away the area around the crack and through the crack. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy this and lay a couple layers of carbon fiber tape on this side, and hopefully I can get to the underneath side, fair it all back in, and hopefully this will never be a concern again. So I can't make any worse, because this transom is structural. It has to hold it up on the davits, and it has to hold the engine going through waves and rough seas. So I got to do something here. I can't just ignore it. So I'll show you the process as we go through this, and hopefully in the end we will have something that we'll never have to worry about again. Okay. Oh man, that's a big crack. God, I hate this. Okay, I grinded this crack out as much as I could. Coming down here, you can see the foam core. Crack down here, all the way down here. My intention is to fill this up with epoxy, fiberglass carbon fiber tape on the other side of this, back on the other side of this. Maybe get 1 or 2 layers in there, and then fiberglass carbon fiber tape along here. And hopefully that should be more enough to correct this crack problem. That red line shows the crack. The carbon fiber on the other side was shattered. I was smoothing it over with structurally reinforced epoxy to form a nice fillet. This will not only reinforce that seam, but provide a smooth surface to lay the fiberglass and carbon tape out on the inside.
You're gonna have to cut that out.
I pre-saturated the fiberglass tape on a flat surface to prevent oversaturation during application. Man, I forgot what these days feel like. Thank you for talking me into buying a boat.
Who, me?
Yeah, because I don't think I could build another boat. But this is coming out pretty good. What we're doing is I got 2-inch wide, 6-ounce fiberglass tape. I'm putting 3 layers on the inside here to reinforce that crack. I filled the crack with structural epoxy. Now I'm reinforcing it from the inside. And then once this dries, we'll do the outside. And this is not going to go anywhere.
And here I was thinking, man, you should have just built the boat from the beginning.
I should have just built the dinghy.
Except it would have been heavier, right?
Probably. I don't know. I could have carbon fiber vacuum bag, but... Okay, this is what it looks like inside. This is where the crack ran down through here. And what I did was I put a structural epoxy fillet in here. You can see where I filled in. And then I put 3 layers of fiberglass 6-ounce 2-inch tape over this to tie this all in. I just sanded down the rough edges, and then I'm going to tie it all in with 1 layer of carbon fiber, like from here to here, here to here, here to here. This seems to be pretty well in place. There's nothing for me really need to do there, but this is where the crack was. That is not an air bubble, that's an epoxy bubble, so there's no air in there. And hopefully this will be stronger than what it was before on the inside. This is where all the strength is going to be, on the inside. And then I'll rebuild the outside. We're going to pre-wet these carbon fiber tapes. We're going to tie it all in on the aft port side. And I think it's overkill, but I'll sleep at night. The stirring here, the transom, takes pounding and stress of the motor, but it also takes the stress of raising it up on the davits. So that transom needs to be beefy. On the port side, she will be beefy. I checked the starboard side. I really don't see too many issues there. It'll probably be a lot of work to try to tab it in than it's worth. But on this side, because of the crack, I want to make sure it's okay. It's like I'm building rockets. Did somebody say rockets?
Peter and Ben Abrash as the damn Abrash boys flying on a K 2045 VMAX. It's supposed to go Mach 1.3, and they're actually expecting Maine. So it's the orange and black one. This is not going to hang around long. The damn Abrash boys going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How cool was that?
Yeah, I worked for carbon fiber before. Now back to the regular scheduled programming. Last piece of carbon tape for peace of mind. This is a laminated carbon fiber from the inside. This is not going to go anywhere. It is not like I'll be breaking mock. Here's what I grounded out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this down to get some of these hot, rough little spots off. And then I'm going to start rebuilding the fillet along here. This will be a structural fillet. And then I'm going to get some fiberglass or carbon fiber tape just to kind of reinforce everything from this side, and then fair and rebuilt all this. I rebuilt the fillet using structural reinforced epoxy. Okay, I took some structural epoxy, rebuilt this fillet coming along here, squeezed it and what was in left of the crack, and then came up here and rebuilding it back here. This is where the crack ended. Once this fillet dries, I'll give it a light sanding, and then I'm going to put one layer of carbon fiber tape over top of that to tie it all in from the outside. Maybe 2 layers at that stress point up top, and then put some micro balloons over top of that and sand it and fair it all in, and then paint it, and hopefully you'll never notice that there was a crack there, and this thing's going to be way stronger than it ever was. That's the plan. These angles will be too difficult to try to vacuum bag. Pre-saturating the fiberglass or carbon fiber tape ensured that I had a consistent coat of epoxy without over-saturating it. I laid the carbon fiber on the outside to tie in the fillet and the exposed foam core. Since this will be in sight, I took care to smooth out any rough edges. It is easier when laying up carbon fiber than coming back and sanding it later. You reach a point where you just say enough is enough. Anymore, you're just going to mess it up. And you just have to walk away. Here's the epoxy carbon fiber tape. Is tying in the fillet and the crack. Okay, I got the carbon fiber tape in. We'll let that dry. I'll hit it with some 80 grit sandpaper just to knock off any high points. And then the really fun part, the hardest part of this is fairing it all in. I hate sanding. It's a lot of sanding, but you have to do it. And hopefully if I do it right, it's not going to be noticeable. That is the first coat of fairing along that crack and rebuilt section of the transom. I will let it dry. I'll sand it. I'll probably have to do it maybe 2 more times, possibly 3. Depends on how good I sand it and how good that first coat was. Round 1, not too bad. Smooth as a baby's ass. Okay, she's feels good. She feels smooth. She feels faired in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a couple light coats of primer. If there's still any imperfections, it will show up in the primer. And if necessary, I'll wet sand it until I get the primer coat done, and then we paint. All the structural part of this is completed. This is purely cosmetic. As you can see, I gave it a quick coat of primer. You can see some of the imperfections along there that I have to touch up. Most of them's right here. The little holes are from the micro balloons, the price you pay for easy to sand. Some more fairing required here. Okay, I touched up all the spots and gave it the final sanding. This looks good, it feels good, and I am ready for the final coat of paint. Hopefully I can find a paint that matches. Admiral Tony says that the worst paint to match up is white. So I'm scratching my head. This is where it ends. I need the surgery on the back, and then I need to convalesce for a little while. After I recover, I'm hoping all I need to do is simply paint it. Okay, I'm going to do the same test that I did the last time that showed the crack was not cosmetic, it was structural. I'm kind of nervous. I don't want this transom to fall off, so here we go. Okay, this isn't going to go anywhere. This is Peter fixed and Peter built. This is where everything stops. The shipping company sent out an insurance claim adjuster. One came out yesterday. He specializes in carbon fiber marine, and he looked at the repairs, and he was able to tap with a special hammer and came to the conclusion that carbon fiber is compromised way past the repair, way up in here. And he strongly recommend do not use this boat. With the 20 horsepower motor on it, with the beach wheels in the back here, and with these davit points right here, he said it's not going to last. It needs a major repair, or it might need to be condemned. This is very unfortunate. And another adjuster came out this morning, and I don't know what his decision was. He kept kind of things to the vest. I think he represented more how this thing was shipped. But without a doubt, this was due to shipping. Most of you seen the video of it coming off the truck and all the damage and everything there, but there was a whole lot more video that we never published that clearly showed the damage while it was on the tractor trailer. So I don't know where this is going to end up. I'm not very happy. This is not a UP problem. This is a shipping problem. And I got to get in discussions with UP boats and see how fast, if we can get a replacement, if the shipping insurance takes ownership of the problem. So not happy. We're not going to sail up north without a dinghy. It just makes no sense to be trapped on the boat like we were last season. So we got to start weighing our options. So stay tuned. I just don't know what to do at this point. This is where we end it. The video's getting too long. I'll pick up with the rest of it in the next episode.
Leave a comment. Subscribe. Bye.